Welcome to the episode of Jay Leno's Garage. The car today, 1957 Chevrolet 210, four-door sedan. It's been modified, and it's a fascinating car, but I think the story behind the car is far more interesting. This is a classic example of a father and son project. It's owned by Richard and Aaron Raher. Come on in, gentlemen. How you doing? Aaron, how are you?
Hey, good.
Richard?
Hi, Jay.
Richard is a Vietnam veteran, and you're an Iraqi War veteran.
Yes.
So thanks for your service, gentlemen. I think you probably went to Vietnam just as my brother was coming home. You deployed in what, 68?
69.
Oh, 69,
69,
okay.
72.
Okay, okay. And this car was sort of a cathartic process for you guys, isn't that right? Kind of a bonding thing with you two. So tell us a story, because this is sort of the classic American hot rod. I think the 57 Chevy has become the 32 Ford of later generations. You know, when you and I were kids, you had to have some money to have this, but you could still get a 32 Ford. You know, now these are kind of off the charts, and the 32 Fords are crazy. So tell us the story, Richard.
Well, we had a dream. I mean, my son was given some parts. His father-in-law was moving to Idaho and said, "Hey, I got some parts in the field. You're interested? You can have them." Okay. And so we went. He took a look. So go ahead, Aaron.
I saw the frame and body, and I immediately saw the potential there.
Right.
I thought it was something that my dad and I could do together as a father-son project.
Now, did you think it was crazy? Did you look at the thing and go, "Oh, this is too far gone"?
I said, we need some more parts, because it was a naked frame and just a shell sitting on the ground. I said, I think we need some more parts.
Yeah. Good insight there. All right. Was the engine with it?
Yes. No. See, the parts that we were given was just a shell from the firewall back, right, and a naked frame. So I found a car in Utah, which was a complete 57 four-door that I brought back. We stripped it, right, and that became the parts that we assembled to make this.
Okay. So this car still has its original engine?
Yes.
Yeah, the original
the original 57 283.
The drivetrain's original. Yeah.
Well, I like that, because I mean, everybody puts the 350 crate motors in, and that's cool. Yeah. But that's a little bit of money, and this is a hard-working, low-buck.
No, this is the rebuilt original 283 with a little bit of upgrades.
Yeah,
a little bit of a cam, some headers.
But you did the whole thing at home, right?
Yes,
I mean,
my garage.
That's what I like. I mean, that's what I mean. You guys, obviously you're not wealthy guys, right? And this is how long did it take to do the car?
2.5 years.
2.5. Oh, that's pretty good, actually. Yeah. That's pretty good. So tell us some more of the story.
I received the body and frame when I returned from my first deployment. I was in the Marine Corps. Went to Ramadi in 2006 for my first deployment, came back. That's when I got the body and frame. Okay. I had a quick turnaround to deploy again, back to Iraq. And so we got the body and frame to my dad's garage and got the other car for parts. I had to deploy again, and what I was able to do is send the funding back for my dad.
And you got wounded over there, correct?
Yeah, my first deployment. Got a vehicle car bomb on my very last patrol, and suffered traumatic brain injury, and
then you've deployed again?
I did deploy again. Oh. And that tour was extended. Normally in the Marine Corps you deploy 7 months. I was there for 13 months. Right. I was able, because I was there for so long, I came back for 2 weeks where my dad and I got the chassis rolling. Put it together. I had to ship back over, and I was able to re-enlist in the Marine Corps for 4 more years, and they offered me a signing bonus for that, and that was another portion of the money that we put into the car.
So how proud of him were you?
Oh, I'm extremely proud, very proud. I mean, he's my hero. We received a letter from his commanding officer that remarked, he says, "Thank you for raising a son who willingly came to fight terrorism, and you know, I'm very proud." And
the fact that you enlisted again after you were wounded, I just assumed that you were wounded and that was it. So then you signed back up again. Well, man, God bless you. That's pretty amazing. Now the license plate has some significance, doesn't it? Tell us what that means.
Yeah, my dad surprised me with the license plate, partially because I'm a combat veteran, and he's also very extremely proud of some commendations I received while I was deployed in combat, and that's sort of a reflection of that. Some of the awards that I had earned in battle.
What does it stand for? What do the letters stand for?
Combat veteran, and I received a medal with my combat V device, a V for valor, which is.
Oh, that's great.
It's a distinction, you know, to receive a combat action medal with the insignia of the V for valor is a demonstration that he actually did something in the field, you know,
right.
Above and beyond the call of duty, you know. So it's something that I wanted to reflect on the car. I mean, this is a dream for both of us, and I wanted it to reflect, you know, my son.
So while he was when you deployed the second time, you were working on the car in the garage. Did you have a date in mind, like he comes home on X, I want to have it finished, or how did that work?
No, I mean, actually what happened is that once we began, and I began to realize the magnitude of this project, because we started with a naked frame on a garage floor, and we reached a point of no return.
Right.
I said, Aaron, if we go beyond this place, we've got to finish it.
Right.
We can stop now and maybe recapture some of our money. But if we go beyond, we got to finish it. And so he says, yep, I'm ready to go. And so between the two of us, we had enough money and we finished it. And then he's been driving it for 6 years.
Yeah, it looks great. and you know, we do so many high-end cars, you know, Lamborghinis and crazy stuff like that. But it's fun to do projects. We had a gentleman that had a Model T he bought for a couple of $1,000s, put a couple of $100s in it, and it's a great hot rod. And this is something you guys are able to do on a normal budget, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and it looks fantastic. It looks great. So you rebuilt the original 283. Can we see the engine?
Yeah.
Let's open the hood. Let's take a look. Oh, very nice. And you ran an alternator, obviously, ran the generator.
We went to alternator instead of generator. We went to a dual chamber master cylinder. We went to disc brakes on the front.
Right.
It has a Edelbrock fuel pump and carburetor with a high energy ignition. So we just wanted it to be a good mechanically sound, good running car.
So what are you looking at, about 260 horse, 270, something like that?
Don't know exactly. We've never had a dyno.
We haven't put it on the dyno
But it runs good though.
But it runs good. You ever get in trouble, get a ticket yet?
No.
I did actually on base. I did.
You did? Well, come on. Didn't they see the license plate on base? Come on. You're a war hero. They gave you a ticket?
Yeah.
All right. I want that commanding officer. No, we are calling that guy right now. Come on. How fast were you going on base?
I think I was 5 over.
5 miles an hour over? Really?
Something like that. Yeah.
And what was the penalty?
I had to hold a sign for 2 hours in the morning and before Marines were coming on base, and 2 hours at the end of the day when they left base, I said, slow down or this could be you.
Wow. Yeah, you could wind up being a war hero. That's pretty good. Hey, slow down or you could be a war hero. Wow, okay. Well, that's the Marine Corps. Yeah, that's hilarious. But you didn't get any, demoted. Okay. Well, that seems a little crazy. That seems a little crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What transmission were you using?
Well, when we built the car, we put the original Power Glide in it.
Okay.
For 2 years running the Power Glide, but because it's made out of cast iron, it wore out.
Right.
So we had to replace it with a 350, 3-speed.
Yeah. That Power Glide goes.
It's just got 2-speed transmission.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
They use
Because
it
the
for-
revs all the way up and then down to nothing again. Yeah. You're not going to blow anybody off with the Power Glide. Yeah. But that's why it is. So you're constantly updating the car. Yeah. Very
We
cool.
want it mechanically sound and a good driver. We changed the gearing in the rear end to be more freeway friendly.
Like what, 355, something like that?
We went to 308.
Oh, 308. Okay.
Because originally it's like 375, I think, and it really winds out.
Right.
So it's a lot nicer cruising on the freeway.
And how long has it been done?
It's 7 years.
Oh, it's been done for 7 years. Okay. Was there ever a point where you guys went, this is too much? I mean, you and I are about the same age, so it's just like, I'm sorry, I'm a little exhausted here. This is it.
No, I mean,
let the kid finish.
I was at that point where I'm looking at the garage and I'm thinking, I don't know if I can. I mean, this is bigger than I thought. Because you know, I used to build model cars when I was a kid.
Right.
And I approached this the same way. It's just bigger.
Right.
You know, you just dump out the box and get all the parts and put it together, you know. And so at one point, that's when I called them and I said, man, I don't know. I want to finish this, but I don't know. It might be bigger than, might have bit off too much.
Yeah.
You know,
and I didn't want it to become the project that never ended. I didn't want it to be sitting in the garage 20 years later and, you know, look back and say, you know, I wish we would have been able to finish that. It was very important that we finished it together, that, you know, it was working. It was going to be a driver and not a trailer to car shows and such. I want to put to use. You know.
What was the single biggest headache, the mechanical rebuild or the cosmetic rebuild? Because chrome is expensive. That chrome is crazy now.
Well, I found out why guys don't rebuild 4 doors. They restore 2 doors because there's a bazillion parts in the doors. I mean, you got the glass, you got the handles, and so mechanically the doors were the most challenging.
Yeah, the doors were
that's interesting. I never would have thought that.
The doors were the hardest for us.
Oh man.
And was this shell pretty rusted out when you got it?
No, that's what blew me away. This shell had sat in the field for 20-some years. We took it and had it bead blasted, and it was all metal.
And what field? Where? Southern California?
In Ramona, California.
Oh, because that's almost like a desert climate.
It's
okay.
Well, it survived 2 wildfires.
Yeah, 2003 and 2007.
Wow.
The fires went through Ramona and
Burned the
right
houses
up
next
to
to
it, and didn't burn the car.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
That's pretty good. Pretty
It's a
lucky.
miracle.
Hey, let's close the hood again. Let's come. What's the significance of the spider web?
So when I saw it originally in the field, just the body and frame, I envisioned the flat black with red, almost like a Black Widow theme, just to give it a little more of an edge. Every time I drive it, somebody stops and talks to me.
Right.
And the common question I get is from some of the older collectors is, when are you going to paint it? I'm like, it's painted, man.
Yeah.
It's painted.
See, these old guys, we don't. That's sort of the difference. But it's funny because this was the hot car when he and I were kids. You know, when we were in high school, this was a 10-year-old car, so it was still new enough. And they were pretty quick, especially they made the fuel-injected one. You get the 2 4-barrels on it. And when I was in high school, there was a kid that had one. He had 2 4-barrels and a 283, and that might as well have been a Ferrari when you come from a little town. You know, you get rubber in second gear and all.
Guys like to lay rubber, man.
Yeah, exactly. And those old bias ply tires just go up and smile. I mean, they were a lot of fun. There's so many memories with these cars, and it's funny because the '57 Chevy was not a big seller when it was new. It got outsold by the Fords, and they kind of put the fins on it to try and make it a little more exciting, but it wasn't considered the cool car when it came out. The Ford was more popular. And then, you know, 10 years go by and they're on the market, and every high school kid wanted one, and then they just went crazy. You know? So it's pretty cool. It's pretty. Are you guys in a '57 Chevy club or anything like that?
I was participating in a club in Southern California for a while, the Axle Draggers.
Right.
And did a lot of shows and cruises with them, which is always fun. I love doing cruises. I love going out and cruising. And but wife and I, we have a 9-month-old at home right now, so.
Oh, that's great. So this is grandpa now.
And so that's been keeping us
How about
busy.
other veterans? You mean other veterans that have done projects? Because I know I talked to an awful lot of veterans, and it's a challenge because on military pay, it doesn't really make enough money to restore a car, even fix a car, let alone restore one. So it's always a challenge. There are a lot of military guys you meet?
Veterans in clubs, I think, are increasing.
Yeah.
I believe so. It is extremely hard to build a car on a military salary, which is why I was in a unique position when I was deployed and re-enlisted. You know, the things fell into place to where I was able to have the money to
it's like a dream come true.
A dream come true. And you know, the '57, you know, was always been my dream. My dad taking us to, my brother and I, car shows since we were little. The '57 always grabbed my attention. I loved the big fins in the back and everything. And when this opportunity came, I knew I had to take it and do that with my dad.
Tell us about the upholstery now.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously nicer than what was in it when it was new. Would have been cloth, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. There's still the original seats.
Yeah.
But we had them done in the theme, with to continue the black and red, the red and black.
And the original dashboard and the original steering wheel.
Now see this is all done by me with Duplicolor spray cans.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty.
When we started this whole restoration process, as we would take parts off, we'd blast them and prime them, but this dash is all done by spray can.
No, see, that's great. Whenever I get asked to judge a car show, you can't have millionaires competing against working guys.
Yeah.
So I always like to find what I call the Rattle Can Award.
Yeah.
You find the guy who restored a car in his garage by himself using Rust-Oleum cans or whatever. Even if it's not as perfect as the guy who had it done, it's still better because the guy who runs is better than the guy who walks, and the guy who, that kind of, and to me that's the fun part. I mean, that your dad's sitting there with spray cans choking to death in the garage. I mean, that's got to be worth something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the first time we fired it up, we almost lit the garage on fire.
Yeah. Well, the first time we cranked it.
We had a lawn chair. The interior wasn't in. I had a lawn chair in the driver's seat.
Lawn chair in the driver's seat.
My dad dumps gas down the carburetor. I didn't know how much gas he dumps.
Go ahead.
I go to kick it over. It kicked over right away, but we were shooting flames out the side. 4-foot flames coming out the side, and we shut it off, and there's still flaming gas dripping on the floor.
Actually, you should keep it running. Put your foot in it to suck the flames in.
Yeah.
We didn't know what to do.
Garage full of smoke.
I got a fire extinguisher, and it was one of those white ones, so we're all
It's a learning process. It's kind of funny.
That would be a learning process. That would be a learning process. Very good. Well, it all turned out pretty cool. What any other modifications to the car? Let's see. I got some trick stuff here. The mirror.
Yeah, the mirrors, just the little lock tops are 5.56 rounds. They're like bullet casings.
And this is something you will continue to make little improvements on. Because you're going to keep this car the rest of your life, right?
You take it.
Yeah. You have a boy or a girl?
I have both. I have a daughter and a boy.
So one of them will want this car.
Yeah. I think my son will be.
Yeah. When he's old enough, he'll go, look how young Grandpa was when he did this. And who's that old dead guy? That'd be me.
I'm just worried about when they get that age. I don't want that old thing. But I think they'll appreciate it.
Well, no, I think the story is really what makes it, because there are plenty of 57 Chevys around, but there aren't ones that have this great story.
Exactly.
And that's kind of, I see ones all the time. The guys buy the crate motor and they put and they change the dash, and it doesn't even look like a 57 Chevy. They put in some some modern wheel, and then they put in seats from a modern Camaro, and it doesn't have any of the soul of the original car.
Exactly.
I mean, this is what I like, is the fact that I can see what it was, what it's gonna be, and where it is. That's kind of the fun part. Can we take it for a ride?
Yeah.
Cool, let's do it.
Okay.
So are there other cars you want to do, or is this it?
Well, if we had the chance to do another one, I think a 49 Mercury would be
Now the
perfect.
4-door or 2-door?
2-door.
Yeah.
Chop the top, put it on bags, drop it on the ground. I love that.
See, I like those cars stock.
Mm-hmm.
I like having the normal ride. It's like, to me, choppers. I never got the chopper thing, because you make the bike slower, it doesn't stop as good, it's more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
What am I missing? You're probably looking at 300 horsepower.
There you go.
But this is exactly the car you and I would have driven, Richard, in 1968. I mean, everything is the same. Nothing electronic. Okay, you got a little more modern radio in it.
Yeah.
But transmission, engine, okay, maybe drum brakes instead of discs. But, but for the most part, it's not a whole lot has changed. And that's 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Because let's see, if you and I, Richard, back in 1968, we went in a 50-year-old car, it would be what, a 1908?
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like that. I mean, it's crazy.
Crazy.
I always like the 2 gun sights in the front. Good road trip car.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's a nice cruiser.
times his daily commute was 80 miles a day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
To the base.
Back and forth from base. People thought I was crazy, but this is a car. It's meant to be driven. It's meant to be used. You know, I want to appreciate it and take it places and drive.
Yeah, something special about these. I don't know if you get the same feeling with your arm out the window of a Corolla. You know? not quite the same.
Plus, people don't wave at you and give you a thumbs up.
Yeah, that's true. Unless they're driving another Corolla. Nice sound, not too loud, not obnoxious. What color was this car originally? Do you remember?
This was originally a green, like that, you know, that pastel green.
Oh yeah.
The one we used for parts was pink.
Like a salmon color.
Oh yeah, well, those are the big colors back then. Like a Mary Kay car.
Yeah. Some of those.
Yeah, it was like not having a brake booster. You got to jump on this brake.
Yeah,
I know.
You got to use your legs. You know, in these newer cars, you use your foot.
It's good cardio.
In this car, you use your leg.
Yeah. Well, parking's always interesting too.
Yeah. It doesn't have a very tight turning radius.
I got nice mid-range.
You know, it brought my dad and I closer, but I think it also helped work through something.
Yeah. Help me work through it.
Have you met other guys that have done father and son projects?
Yeah, here and there. You know, I go to their car shows here and there. Yeah.
What's nice about the 57 is the fenders are functional air vents.
Yeah.
Right above the headlights is a grill, and there's a tube. It's about a 4 to 6 inch tube that feeds right from the fender into the cabin on both sides.
Yeah, that's great.
So it doesn't go through the engine compartment, it goes through the fender.
Like my Nash doesn't have an air conditioner, it has conditioned air. I mean, it's so stupid. You know, they try to make you think it's, you know, it's conditioned air. I don't know what that means. It's nothing like a nice, clean, brand new windshield. As you go through Palm Springs, gets all pitted and sandblasted.
Yeah, we've had some issues with the windshield wipers. You know, sometimes the windshield wipers, it's not the best car in the rain.
Yeah.
Windshield
Nice thing
wipers,
is it doesn't rain in California.
yeah, because they're very small and they don't go very fast.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they fly off.
Are they vacuum or are they electric?
No, this is electric.
Electric.
The original is vacuum, but we replaced it with an electric. But still, it just barely goes.
Just cruising in the Veteran Express here. It rides really nicely. It's just it's not a burnout car because I got two combat guys here. They'll kill me if I do a burnout in this thing. But we'll cruise a little bit more. We'll take it back to the garage and we'll wind this thing up. Well, how cool is that? Is it the greatest car in the world? No. Is it the greatest story in the world? Sure. I mean, and what a great story it is. We have two generations of American veterans, father and son, building a car together. And they've done a heck of a job. They've done it on a budget and a lot of love and a lot of sweat and tears. And it's brought you guys closer together, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. I mean, they're both smiling, so that's going to be good. And yeah, it's just nice to see. I mean, this is what the hobby should be. You know, there's something about just a father and son in a garage with spray cans and a wife going, okay, when am I going to get my garage back? You know, I mean, it's fun to see. Guys, thanks for your service.
Thank you.
And thanks for building an American classic. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.